morning, Malacanang Press Corps. Welcome sa press briefing ni Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque.
Magandang umaga Pilipinas at magandang umaga po sa mga miyembro ng Malacanang Press Corps. Simulahan po natin mga mabuting balita. Yung Dutch financial giant ING Bank set the country's economic growth at 6.9% for the first quarter of this year due to increase in government spending, while the country's full-year GDP growth was projected to improve at 6.8%. We welcome another milestone as international tourist arrivals for the first 3 months of 2018 had totaled to 2,049,094, a 14.80% higher compared to 1,784,882 in the same period last year per tourism of the Department of Tourism data. South Korea continues to be our top source market, with China coming in second. Magandang balita po sa mga magsasaka sa probinsya ng Nueva Ecija. Mapapahusay na ang produksyon ng bigas sa kanilang lugar. The Department of Agriculture completed the Caridad Norte and Sur solar-powered irrigation system, which is expected to benefit around 125 farmers in the barangays of Caridad Norte and Caridad Sur in Llanera, Nueva Ecija. Bit of a briefer on the cabinet meeting yesterday. Before the meeting, there was a side meeting with the President attended by Secretary of Foreign Affairs Alan Cayetano. There was Secretary of Labor Bello, Presidential Advisor on OFW concerns and Muslim concerns, Secretary Mamao, myself, as well as SAPGO. Now, Secretary Mamao had just returned from Kuwait. He came bearing good news for the President. The good news, though, we will withhold releasing until we've had actual realization. No? But the President then said that Secretary Mamao would be appointed, as he will be appointed, Special Envoy to Kuwait, and he was tasked to return to Kuwait immediately to make sure that all Filipinos who should be sent back home can return home. I do not know when Secretary Mamao can actually fly back to Kuwait, but the marching order of the President was as soon as possible. I will not divulge yet the good news because the last time that I said that the ties with Kuwait were completely normal, you know what happened. No? The Philippine ambassador was recalled. So let's wait for actual results before announcing the positive news relayed by Secretary Mamao to the President. Now, on other matters, the President will be commemorating the renaming of Benham Rice to Philippine Rice by visiting the Philippine Rice itself, and this is on May 15 to 16, and it will also be to launch the start of scientific research to be conducted by around 50 scientists. So the event will be attended by the 50 scientists whom the President will be sending off, no, as they start their scientific researches in Philippine rice. Now, on Dengvaksha, the President, after much discussion, said that he will create a 3-man panel of experts, all Asians, no Westerners, and he will be bound by the findings of these 3-man experts on the issue of whether or not Dengvaksha actually caused deaths. No? Now, the problem of the President is, although there is a finding of a POW expert and there is the PGH panel of experts finding, as a lawyer and a former prosecutor, he knows that expert witnesses can cancel out each other's testimonies. In effect, he said that with conflicting testimonies from the experts from POW and the PGH, he is constrained to seek further advice from disinterested parties, and that's why he requested that the panel of experts should be foreign, should have no links absolutely with the Philippine government. Wala po dapat ties sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas yung mga ekspertong mga dayuhan na nais na imbitahin ni Presidente para magbigay ng kanilang opinion tungkol sa Dengvaksha. At siyempre po dapat wala pong mga links ito sa Sanofi. At pakikinggan po niya ang report at opinion ng mga ekspertong ito nang makausad na tayo dito sa issue ng Dengvaxia. So sa ngayon po, nag-aantay pa ng mas malinaw na scientific finding ang ating presidente, kaya nga po bubuin niya itong 3-man panel ng experts para po malaman talaga kung anong dapat gawin dito sa Dengvaxia. Pero samantala po ay suportado po ng presidente yung lahat ng initiatives ng DOH ngayon, kasama na yung paghingi ng isang batas galing sa Kongreso para magastos po yung halaga na refund ng Sanofi sa atin, mga 1 billion plus, para matulungan yung mga naging biktima ng Dengvaxia. Now, I can confirm that si Secretary Teo po ay nag-attend ng cabinet meeting. Hindi po napag-usapan ang DOT controversy sa cabinet meeting mismo. Bagamat matapos po ang pagpupulong ay mga siguro 10 to 15 minutes, nakapag one-on-one si Secretary Teo at ang Presidente. Seryoso po sila pareho dun sa nakita kong mga facial expression, pero hindi ko po alam ang totoong nangyari. So, I am constrained to clarify that I still have no information on whether or not Secretary Teo has in fact resigned. No? So, until I get further information from the President, I'm not able to confirm nor deny the report or a report that was published by a major daily today. Questions?
Tuesday nyo?
Sir, alam natin yung malaking balita ngayon kay Secretary Teo, pero sabi nyo nga hindi nyo pa ma-confirm as of this time. Magkakaroon po ba kayo ng chance na makausap si Presidente today para makuha yung confirmation na yan? Or
Opo.
Secretary Medialdea?
Sa totoo lang po, pinabalik ako ni Presidente. Matapos ako po umalis na ng palasyo. Nasa Santa Mesa po ako, bumalik ako, pero hindi na rin po ako naantay ni Presidente. So, mamaya pong 3:00 ang unang pagkakataon na makikita ko si Presidente at tatanungin ko po kung ano yung naging one-on-one niya kay Secretary Teo.
So by then, sir, mga 4 o'clock, pwede ka na naming makuhanan ng additional info on the matter?
Siguro po, at least malalaman ko kung ano yung sasabihin sa akin ni Presidente na pinag-usapan nila ni Secretary Teo. Pero sayang po, hindi ko naabutan nung pinabalik ako dito sa Malacanang.
Hindi ba na-tackle, sir, yung possible kaso na pwedeng kaharapin ni Secretary Wanda Teo?
As I said po, hindi ko pa alam kung ano nangyari dito sa pag-usap dahil hindi ako nakabalik on time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Oo.
Chona, you?
Sir, good morning. What will happen to the investigation being conducted by the Office of the President? Will still continue or if and when nag-resign na nga si Secretary Teo, hanggang dun na lang ba?
Gaya ng aking sinasabi dati po, no? Sa level po ng Presidente, sa mga presidential appointees, ang investigasyon ay para alamin kung mananatili o mapapaalis sa pwesto ang isang presidential appointee. Yung pagsasampa po ng kaso, yan po ay katungkulan na ng Ombudsman at hindi na po ng Office of the President.
So tuloy pa rin po yung investigation, sir, ng OP?
Sa pagkakaalam ko po ay tuloy, pero parang lahat po ng dokumento ay hawak na po ni Executive Secretary Medialdea.
Deo de Guzman?
Sir, tuloy po yung investigation and hawak na po ni Secretary Medialdea yung papers. So, is it safe to assume na dahil na may action na si Presidente based on the reports na lumabas, may action na, so is it safe to say na tapos na yung investigation?
Well, hindi ko po alam kung may action na. Yun nga po ang problema. No? You're saying na may action na po based on a report by a newspaper, which I'm neither confirming nor denying because I have no information. No? So, I cannot confirm or deny that po. As far as I know, all documents are in. I do not know if Secretary Medialdea has made a recommendation to the President, pero I will find out this afternoon po. At least kung ano yung status.
Sir, sakali po na na totoo nga, confirm nga na lumabas yung balita na confirm nyo later today. Ano po ang mangyayari doon sa Tulfo Brothers? Would the palace advise them na wag nang umere doon sa PTV4 and Radyo Pilipinas?
That's
Government
premature
stations?
po dahil hindi ko po alam kung anong mangyayari. Right now, hindi ko po alam kung anong mangyayari.
Thanks,
so, Hindi ko po alam kung anong sasabihin. Now, can I read also a statement, no? And the President wants to give this priority. This is from well, I just got information again, which I will have to confirm. But President Duterte was briefed last night after the cabinet meeting by Cabinet Secretaries Jesus de Reza and Silvestre Bello to inform him that the efforts to resume peace negotiations with the CPP, NPA, and NDF are underway, with back-channel informal talks now taking place in Europe. Secretaries Dureza and Bello informed the President that his clear directives are being relayed across the table and are now the subject of discussions in the ongoing meetings. Our team is now... Biglang nawala. Sorry, nawala. So...
Joseph?
So our team is now in Europe, and we are informed that there are initial positive results so far. This according to Secretary Dureza. The team will return home soon to personally brief the President of the outcome. Secretary Bello said, "We are doing our best to meet the deadline set by the President about the resumption of talks within 60 days, he added. Okay?
Joseph, microphone please.
Sir, on the DOT, yung pong probe doesn't just cover Secretary Teo, right? Other government officials as announced before. So what will happen to the other officials?
Hindi ko pa nga po alam kung ano nangyari kay Secretary Teo, so let's wait for confirmation of reports that you and I read from a daily newspaper today before we answer the other questions about what will happen to other officials, no?
So, ibig sabihin, sir, halimbawa, nag-resign nga si Secretary Teo, no? And then there are other officials who are under investigation for the same deal. What will happen to them? Will the investigation continue as far as their involvement is concerned?
The investigation would have to make recommendations too on what will happen to the other individuals.
All right, sir. Yun muna, dun sa Teo.
Question on DOT? Raymond Tenasa.
Sir, may nabanggit na ba ang Pangulo o reaction kaugnay sa balak di umano ng Tulfo Brothers, yung Bitag Productions, na isauli yung 60 million?
Well, abogado naman po ang presidente, no? So, siguro po yung 60 million is a good gesture, pero sa batas po, it will not completely exonerate kung meron man na labag, no? Pero siyempre po, meron pang investigasyon na nangyayari.
Sir, was there any mention on the COA report that there is this disallowance of that contract or that payment for a good reason to return the 60 million?
Wala pa naman pong disallowance ang COA report eh. So, kaya nga po ang PTV, ang alam ko po, nagko-comply pa rin sila doon sa mga findings ng COA, no? So, wala pa pong notice of disallowance at wala pang demand na ibalik yung 60 million na nagagaling sa COA.
Thank you, sir.
Inaandulong?
Hi, sir. Sir, can you explain to us how the one-on-one meeting happened yesterday? Since you saw it, I mean, did Secretary Teo approach the President, or was it the President who initiated it?
Well, kakatapos lang po ng cabinet meeting, and the one-on-one happened also in the Aguinaldo dining room in the same table where we had our meeting. As is the usual process, may mga ibang mga sa cabinet secretaries na nagwa one-on-one with the President. Secretary Teo was not the first. I think she was the third or the fourth. So the Secretary Teo sat next to the President at the center of the table, and they were huddled closely together. And their faces were very, very serious, including the face of the President. So, yun po. So, dun po nangyari yung usapin na yun. At binigyan naman po ng privacy ng ibang mga cabinet secretaries yung ating presidente at si Secretary Teo. Kaya nga po, ako mismo, umuwi na lang ako because I thought that was the thing to do when I sensed na medyo matagal yung one-on-one nila.
Sir, in the past, when there were calls for some appointed officials to resign, for example, in the cases of Nick Faeldon, and even if I recall correctly, Secretary Togade, the President would go out of his way and say that he trusts these people. Was there any mention of the President about a similar statement from the President pertaining to Secretary Teo?
Hindi po napag-usapan at all ang DOT kagabi. At hindi po nagsalita kagabi si Secretary Teo on any matter discussed by the Cabinet.
But last from me on this topic, but is it true that the President again reiterated his statement during the Cabinet meeting about corrupt Cabinet members or government officials, that if they are engaged in corrupt activities, that they should resign? Was it reiterated by the President?
The campaign against yung kampanya po laban sa korupsyon ay hinighlight ni Presidente nung pinag-uusapan po yung content ng State of the Nation address. Kasi syempre, sabi ng magkakaroon ng bagong format po, no? At pero hindi ko na muna uunahan yan. May bagong format at ang mangyayari, yung SONA really, malilibantas siya doon sa mga gusto talagang sabihin ng Presidente sa taong bayan. So yung mga achievements, siguro may mga ibang pagkakataon ng isa-isahin yan, pero talagang yung SONA will be the President talking to the people and reporting to the people on matters na malapit sa puso po ng ating Presidente. At doon po lumabas yung kampanya niya sa korupsyon.
So,
Na wala pong tigil at wala pong kupas yung kanyang kampanya.
So no direct reminder to the Cabinet secretaries who may be involved in corruption?
Oo, wala naman po, pero inulit niya. At yung parang sinabi nga po niya na dapat mag-resign yung mga may mga pagkukulang, no? Pero wala naman po mention directly, walang mention kung kanino it was specifically directed. It was by way of discussing yung bagong format ng SONA at kung ano yung lalamanin ng SONA ng ating presidente.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Question? Follow-up? Christina Vendano.
Hi, sir. Sir, what will come first, sir? Yung recommendations of the Office of the President or the COA acting on whatever documents Executive Secretary Duterte
Well, obviously,
has?
yung investigation po ng Executive Secretary is administrative in nature, so mas mabilis po yun. So I could definitely say that the investigation of the ES will be concluded before compliance with the COA recommendations.
You also said na parang returning the money is not good enough to exonerate if ever those involved from criminal liability.
Well,
You mentioned kanina.
Well, wala pa naman po kasing wala pa namang final notice ang COA din. Basta ang sinasabi ko lang po ay alam naman po natin na kapag meron ng krimen na nagawa, pag walang private offended party at ito po ay estado ang complainant, parang yung civil aspect ng kaso nababaliwala. Kaya nga po sa Sandigan Bayan walang private prosecutors kasi walang private offended party, no? So, pero sa akin po, tignan muna natin kung ano mangyayari.
So basta clarify na lang. Pag walang yung final notice yung COA and then the money is returned, pwedeng wala ng case.
Ay, hindi ko po pwedeng sabihin yan as a lawyer. It's a case-to-case basis. Ang sa akin lang po ay all crimes involving public officers where the state is offended, kinakailangan po talaga na all the elements are proven. And the fact na wala po kasing civil aspect ang isang criminal case involving public officers, walang aspeto na yung civil aspect po pwedeng areglohin. Yun po yung problema doon. So sa ordinary criminal cases, normally po, ang civil aspects na aareglo. Pero sa mga crimes involving public officers, specifically crimes under the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, wala pong civil aspect dahil wala pong pribadong individual na nadanyos, kung hindi ang Estado lamang.
Okay, questions? Other issue? Joseph Morong.
Sir, on the sideline of the cabinet meeting, you mentioned si Secretary Cayetano talked to the President, and I think sila DND also, no? And then NSA. Yung sa picture na pinadala ni SAP. What was the, with regard to China, what was specifically discussed, if you
Well,
can
you know,
divulge
the president reiterated his policy on China, which really is not new, no? He says that he will not be involved in any armed confrontation between China and the United States. It is not to our national interest to get involved in any armed conflict, although any such armed conflict is a reason for us to be concerned because it is in our exclusive economic zone, it is in our backyard. And that's why he reiterated that to him, an independent foreign policy, yung independenteng panglabas na relasyon, ang pinakamabuti pa ring posisyon dahil kung magkakaroon ng konfrontasyon sa parte ng Amerika at ng China, ayaw naman niya isugal ang buhay ng mga Pilipino dahil wala naman tayong interes sa ganyang konfrontasyon kung mangyayari man. Pero ang inaasahan nga natin ay gagamitin ng diplomasya ang lahat ng panig dito sa mga bansa na nag-iirigan ngayon sa South China Sea at mananaig pa rin ang kapayapaan.
But is it putting up a missile defense system in the South China Sea, upping the ante for a possible, not naman confrontation, but tension between China and whoever it wants to
Well,
confront?
as I said, yun nga po hindi naman natin binabaliwala. May mga hakbang na gagawin. Hindi lang pwede i-anunsyo, hindi lang po pwede na araw-araw pag-usapan. Pero at the same time, mas minabuti ni Presidente na wag kumampi sa kahit kaninong partido dito sa nangyayari dito sa West Philippine Sea dahil ang interes ng mga Pilipino ay magkaroon ng kapayapaan.
Does he find it objectionable that China would erect a defense system, missile defense system, in our EEZ?
Well, sinasabi naman po niya na talagang pag nagkaroon ng ganyang mga missiles, syempre, mas malakas yung posibilidad na magkakaroon ng hindi lang giringan, baka magkaroon ng inkwentro, no? Pero ang sinasabi nga niya, nadatnan na natin yan. Nadatnan na niya yan bago pa siya maging presidente kasi mga isla na yan, completely built na nung siya pumasok dyan. Okay, linagay ang missile ngayon. Pero in the first place, kung wala yung mga isla dyan, hindi sana nailagay yan. No? So ang punto niya, parang too late the hero na siya pa ngayon ang sinisisi nung ilang mga tao ng nakalipas na administrasyon. Pero ang tanong nga, bakit kasi nung ginagawa yung mga islang yan, bukod doon sa arbitration na isinampa, wala silang ginawa. Bakit ang Amerika hindi gumawa? Bakit hindi hinarangan yung mga dredging na yan? O bakit ngayon, sa kanya ngayon ang binabaling ang sisi, samantalang nandyan na yung mga isla yan nang siya'y naging presidente ng Hunyo of 2016. Katotohanan naman po yan.
Well, I don't know. Is asking China to remove the missile defense system in the realm of possibility?
Well, alam mo po, I guess anything is possible, but in the realm of possibilities, do you think China will comply?
Correct. So we won't even ask, no?
Let us deal with realities.
Okay.
Okay, question on China? Yeah.
Pinag-iisipan daw po ni Congressman Alejandro na magsampa ng impeachment complaint versus the President regarding po sa issue ng West Philippines. Any comments, sir?
Nagawa na naman niyang magsampa dati ng impeachment complaint labang kay Presidente. Karapatan po niya yan. At kung meron naman siyang numero, siguro po magiging successful siya. No? Pero sa akin po, walang suportang makukuha yan. Kasi wala pong legal na basihan yung impeachment na isasampa niya. Ang dapat niya po sigurong habulin ay yung mga tao na pinayagang magawa yung mga artificial na island na yan nung panahon ng administrasyon na siya po ay isang kakampi.
Okay, Chona? Okay, Philippine rice. Microphone, please.
Sir, clarify ko lang, yung 50 researchers, ano yun, mga Filipino? Or
All Filipinos.
Okay. And how long will they conduct their
Hindi ko po
research?
alam kung matagal ang research nila, pero isi-send off lang sila ni Presidente.
Question? Rose Novinaria.
Ay, good morning. Ay, good afternoon, sir. Sir, yung investigation dun sa 60 million sa DOT ads, kasama rin po ba dun na iimbestigahan kung bakit hindi na ibibigay ng PTV yung mga benepisyo ng manggagawa, katulad dun sa collective negotiation agreement? Kasi po yung 60 million, malaki na po yung pupuntahan no, kung para po sa mga kapakanan ng mga manggagawa, di po ba?
Well,
At yung back wages ng mga sinibak no nakaraang administrasyon na nakabalik.
ang investigation po nakatutok doon sa sinabi ng COA na may mga kulang-kulang na dokumento at may mga depekto doon sa pag-award ng 60 million worth of ad contract sa BTAG. So, baka hindi po makasama yan sa investigasyon.
Pero may sulat po yung PTV Employees Association kay Presidente tungkol po doon sa mga problema nila bago po pumutok yung COA report.
Ipapaalala ko po kay Executive Secretary na may ganyang usapin din. Pagdating naman doon sa mga sweldo no, nila Rocky. No? Pag nakarating naman na kay Presidente na pati si Rocky kasama doon, eh, baka magkaroon na aksyon.
Thank you.
Christine Avendano.
Sir, what's your definition of whiff of corruption? Because that's the word the president, the phrase the president used early on when he said he's gonna fire people,
Give it its common meaning.
which is nga, sir.
It doesn't have to be proven in court.
But does it have to undergo yung, the office of the president undertaking an investigation?
There has to be, kasi hindi naman pwedeng chismis lang.
So yung whiff of corruption may process rin, sir.
Meron din. That's why there's always an investigation. Otherwise, masisisante ka on the basis of chismis na baka mamaya walang basihan.
Okay. On China? Yeah, Comfy?
Hi, good morning, sir. Sir, yung missile defense system that China set up in those islands, the surface-to-air missile has a range of 300 kilometers and can shoot down aircraft, drones, or anything that flies. While the anti-cruise missile, the anti-ship missile can shoot down boats, ships, or anything that floats. And don't you think that is enough threat to Philippine aircrafts or ships that sail or flies within the range of those missiles?
Kung meron po tayong hidwaan, wala naman tayong hidwaan. That is why we treasure our friendly ties with China now, among others, because it will reduce tension given existing realities already in the West Philippine Sea.
Follow up, sir. Since wala naman tayong hidwaan sa China and since you are confident that those missiles were not targeting Philippine targets, then why don't we send any of our air assets or drones, surveillance aircrafts to fly near those islands so we can fly low so we can eyeball to confirm if those defense missiles were really put up in those islands?
Well, as far as I know, hanggang ngayon, patuloy ang paglilipad ng ating mga eroplano papunta sa Pag-asa.
And we have not seen any confirmation na those missiles were already really put up
Walang
there.
confirmation, pero at the same time, di naman sila tinatarget ng China. No? So, there are daily flights or weekly flights because we have to ferry supplies to Pag-asa.
Can't they go near those islands, sir?
Napakalapit nun.
And they can see,
Let
they can eyeball.
me, parang di mo alam kung nasan yung mga yun. Ha? Malapit yan sa Pag-asa.
Yes, sir.
So, ang punto nga is, nandiyan mga missiles, hindi naman pinababagsak so far yung ating mga eroplano, no? So, hindi nga tayo tinatarget. So, what is the question ba?
So are there, yung confirmation, sir, have we confirmed na meron talaga itong
Wala pa. Kasi wala pa yung equipment na kinakailangan natin. Pero alam ko na yung equipment, pero ang pakiusap ni National Security Advisor, it's sensitive to acknowledge that we don't have this equipment. Let's not publicize the name of the equipment. I can tell you privately after.
Okay, thank you, Comfy. Ina? Ina, use the microphone, please.
On?
Microphone, Ina.
May nag-break.
Where's the
There's an
microphone?
announcement to be made by Attorney Topacio at 1 p.m. at the DOT office.
Use the microphone, Ina. Microphone, please.
That's what I got. Attorney Topacio will have an announcement at the DOT office at 1 p.m.
But meron pong nag-break just now saying that the secretary has already resigned. Do you have an update on this?
No information. I'm here with you, although I did get a text, but I have not verified. I have not received anything from Executive Secretary Medialdea, neither have I received anything from Special Assistant to the President, Bongo. But
But
nothing. Nothing. I got a text from another cabinet member, but I cannot actually announce it because there's no verification. So unless it's verified, please.
Okay, last two questions. Julie?
Wait.
O, sige. Ina, wait muna.
Sir, wait lang. Sir, just to be clear, what is the specific mission of Secretary Mamao as a special envoy sa Kuwait?
Well, alam naman natin yung mga unsettled business natin. We have 3 diplomats. We have 4 drivers. We want to see our 3 diplomats home. We want the 4 drivers completely cleared because these are residents of Kuwait. Hindi naman sila uwi, no? They're residents already of Kuwait. And then there's about 800 runaways that we want to bring home. So the mandate of Secretary Mamao is to bring everyone home and to possibly normalize ties with Kuwait, sign the MOA if possible.
Ayun. Sir, the goal is still
Complete
to-
normalcy of ties.
how about the MOU?
Yes, that's still part of our what we hope to achieve because MOA will completely normalize our ties.
Sir, yung si Secretary Bello, again, just to be clear, hindi na siya matutuloy yung team niya sa Kuwait?
Hindi po.
Hindi na.
Hindi po.
So, does this, why? And does this mean that...
Because si Secretary Mamao na.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir?
Joseph, last two na to, Joseph, and then Julie.
So sir, kung meron po tayong special envoy to Kuwait, how does the DFA, Secretary Cayetano in particular, factor in?
He's Secretary of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, but will he be involved in...
Well, I think the President noted that Secretary Mamao, being a Muslim, has been effective in dealing with Kuwaiti authorities. So parang he is allowing Filipino Muslim do the negotiations for the time being with the Kuwaiti authorities.
Sir, the 4 drivers were arrested, no? And they're
4
still
drivers were
The 3
arrested
diplomats are still...
in the
How would-
embassy.
How would you describe the...
Restricted movement, I think, is what the term used by the DFA.
Right. And then we canceled the supposed trip on May 7 because
of this development that it's Secretary Mamao who is now the special envoy.
Okay.
To
So
Kuwait.
parang pinush back lang yung schedule.
The president kasi, di ba, prefers, okay, I give you a chore, you do this chore, you do this task.
So
Okay?
parang...
So he was specifically designated.
Last question, Julie?
Sir, related to China, a Washington-based think tank reported that our neighbors in the Southeast Asian region has overtaken us sa pagdevelop ng reefs sa Spratly, specifically Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. Are we what is the Philippine government inclined to take on this issue? Are we inclined to maintain the status quo na we will not aggressively develop our claims sa Spratlys? Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Should I repeat the question, sir? Sir, a Washington-based think tank reported that our neighbors, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand, overtook us already in developing their reefs and outposts sa Spratlys. My question is, what is the likely action of the Philippine government? And are we inclined to just maintain the status quo, or are we gonna be more
I
aggressive?
do not know about that because you see the advantage of the Philippines is that we're the only claimant with 7 real islands in our possession. These are not just high water marks. These are not artificial islands. Outside of Taiwan, that claims, of course, the biggest island, no, Ito Aba. But ours are real islands. So I don't understand how any other claimant can claim a superior claim because all their islands are artificial. There's not even any talk of sovereignty when you talk of artificial islands because it's only sovereign rights. But in all the 7 islands that are in our possession, we can claim sovereignty over each of them because these are real islands. This is the distinction under UNCLOS between lands which are permanently above water and lands that are only visible during low tide, no? Correct, no? And they disappear during high tide, no? So when you build an artificial island, you never have sovereignty over the island. So even if they build the mightiest island, the mightiest military base, it will never be the subject of sovereignty. Why? Because it's an artificial island. It is only covered by sovereign rights.
So
Whereas tayo, we're the only claimant. 7 yan, real islands that can be the subject of sovereignty. So if your question is, they've overtaken us in asserting their rights and sovereignty, I dispute that because from the nature of the islands that we occupy, we are the only ones of all the claimants except for Taiwan that occupies Itoaba that can claim sovereignty over the islands that we hold.
So, we still have the upper hand, that's what you're saying?
I think so.
Okay, sorry, sir. Last two, Dexter Ganibe and Christine Avendana.
Sec, could you confirm, bago daw mag-start yung cabinet meeting kahapon, nag-submit ng resignation kay ES si Juan Dateo?
Well, see, I have to abide with the standards also of journalists. I have gotten reports, but si ES himself has not confirmed to me that it has been received, but now I got a statement from the spokesperson of the Department of Tourism that in fact, Attorney Topacio has issued a statement. Okay? So I just got a text from Kat De Castro, and the statement, which I also have a copy, said that Secretary Wanda, according to a statement allegedly coming from Attorney Topacio. No? So, but if you want confirmation from me, the Executive Secretary has not confirmed until now. Let me see if I have a text. Please call. Just call. Call ano. Okay, so other matters please while we confirm because ang hirap. I mean,
Christine Avendano.
can you imagine my predicament? But Kat De Castro has said that Attorney Topacio has issued a statement, but I cannot, you know. I've not seen the letter. I have not gotten confirmation from the Executive Secretary. So I still cannot confirm. I can only say that Kat De Castro, the spokesperson of DOT, has confirmed that Attorney Topacio has issued a statement. That's it.
Okay. Sir, what prompted the President to create yung 3-man panel of experts
Okay,
on Nevaksha?
it's because as a former fiscal, he knows that pagdating po sa mga expert witnesses, ang value kasi ng expert witnesses can be negated by the testimony of an equally recognized expert witness. So they can cancel out each other. So here comes an expert witness from the PGH saying that the deaths could not be attributed to Dengvaksha. And here comes an expert witness from PAO saying it is in fact attributable to Dengvaksha. So ang epekto niyan, they cancel out each other. So parang baliwala. So walang basihan para sabihin either way. So ngayon, ang gusto ng Presidente, kumuha tayo ng disinterested, dayuhan, walang tie sa Pilipinas, walang tie sa Sanofi, na mga pathologists at tignan natin kung anong sasabihin nila at yun na ang ating susundan.
So yung purpose rin is to prosecute if ever, sir? Whatever findings that the panel of experts...
Ang sabi kasi dyan, ang basis ng prosecution will be not really for homicide. No? So far, ang mga sinampalang is reckless imprudence resulting to homicide. No? So pagsampa ng kaso, yes. No? Kahapon nga pala, sinabihan din niya si Secretary Duque, bagamat maraming kaso laban sa kanya, wag mag-alala. As a lawyer, his professional opinion is wala namang pagkakakulong yun dahil it will not prosper. That was the professional opinion of the President. No? But of course, it will still be up to the investigating fiscals to determine probable cause and it will have to be before a regular court, no? A regular court that will determine proof beyond reasonable doubt.
Does the president have already parang names of the panel? The
There
members?
is a list already submitted to him. There was a mention of experts from Singapore, Cambodia, Indonesia, mostly ASEAN countries.
Recommended by the DOH, sir.
Recommended by the DOH.
Sir, follow-up lang, sorry, last question from Joe Montemayor. Saan daw pong Asia yung DEMVACSA panel members at paano daw po sila napili ni Presidente?
Well, may listahan po. May listahan. At mahabang listahan naman po yan. Oo. Well, ang sabi po ni Secretary Duque, may listahan siya na mahabang listahan.
Saan daw pong
Wala pong Westerner. Nag-express ng preference po si Presidente para sa mga dalubhasa na taga-Asia, hindi po sa mga puti.
Okay, follow-up. Sige.
Wala.
So,
Okay, I have a confirmation. There was a resignation letter that was submitted to the Office of the Executive Secretary before the meeting with the President last night. And this is confirmation coming from the Office of the Executive Secretary. Natanggap na ba? No confirmation whether or not it's been accepted. But she tendered her resignation. Okay, kinukumpirma ko na po na natanggap ni Executive Secretary ang liham na pagbibitiw ni Secretary Wanda Teo kagabi po bago makipagpulong si Secretary Teo kay Presidente Duterte.
follow-up, Dexter, then, Tina Mendez.
Sec, follow-up lang. Just for the record, ito ba'y tinanggap na ni Pangulo o ito yung naging usapan nila kagabi nung nag-1-on-1 sila ni Secretary Teo?
Yan pong aantayin ko ang kumpirmasyon ngayon, no? Kasi yan pong wala pa akong kumpirmasyon.
Tina Mendez.
Tignan mo nga kung irrevocable or revocable.
Sir, good afternoon. Sa statement po ni Atty. Topacio, he said, Secretary Teo reiterated that she has done no wrongdoing, that all dealings with the DOT went through all legal processes, done above board, done in good faith, and with total absence of malice. Does her resignation means wala na rin siyang liability or accountability for the dealings happened during your term?
Hindi ko po alam dahil we don't know what the facts are. I'm not privy to the investigation. So it is the investigation conducted by the Executive Secretary and a later investigation by the Office of the Ombudsman that will determine if she has in fact criminal liability.
Even judging from the audit report of the COA regarding the dealings?
Well, even judging from that po, kasi alam mo naman, wala pa pong notice of disallowance pa rin eh. So, it will have to be investigated by the Ombudsman to determine probable cause.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, what's the reason, sir, cited by Teo for her resignation, sir?
Well, you'll have to base it now on the statement of Attorney Topacio.
No, I mean on in the letter, in her letter, sir.
I have not seen the letter, unfortunately. The ES just confirmed receipt of a letter tendering her resignation.
Okay, last question na ba? Joseph and then Ina?
Sir, okay, so if she submitted the letter before the cabinet meeting and before they had a one-on-one, would we say that the president didn't fire her but she resigned? She was not asked to resign?
I do not know. Unfortunately, I have no information. I would be concluding without the proper information. So I would rather not comment.
Okay.
Last question, Ina Andolong.
Sir, sorry. Medyo natanong na to kanina, but since confirmed na nga ngayon. So now that she's resigned, is she off the hook? Will criminal charges be pursued?
Hinaya na po ng palasyo sa ombudsman na mag-imbestiga para malaman kung may pananagutang kriminal pa po si Secretary Teo. Yan naman po ay katungkulan talaga ng Ombudsman.
This applies to other officials tagged in the transaction or the
Opo.
deal.
At yung issue po ng pananagutang kriminal, siyempre po, lahat po yan ay nasa poder na po yan ng Ombudsman. Inaasahan po namin ang mabilis at transparent na investigasyon ng Ombudsman.
Does this mean, sir, that the OP's investigation also found that there was something wrong, which is why or which led to the resignation of the secretary?
Hindi ko po alam kung ano naging resulta ng investigasyon dahil hindi ko po nakikita pa kung meron na talagang rekomendasyon ng investigasyon ng Executive Secretary. Pero sabihin na lang po natin na parang naunahan na ng resignation ang pinal na rekomendasyon ng Executive Secretary. Pero ang pananagutan po, siyempre po, yan ay isang issue na tanging ombudsman lang ang po pwedeng magbigay ng kasagutan dahil yan po ay constitutional duty ng ombudsman.
Does Malacanang see the resignation as a sign of guilt?
Hindi naman po. I think Secretary Teo, being a close associate of the President, did what she thought was the best course of action. And we thank her.
Okay, last question na, Chona.
Sir, may marching order po ba si Presidente sa Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission para imbestigahan ito si Secretary Teo?
Well, sa tingin ko po, the matter should properly be investigated by the Ombudsman, hindi na po ng VACC.
Why not, sir?
Kasi issue na po ito ng kriminal, no? Dahil apparently po, nagbitiw na sa pwesto si Secretary Teo.
Totoo na daw last to, Jeneline.
Sir, irrevocable resignation po ba?
No information on whether or not it's revocable or irrevocable.
Sir, sana release nyo mamaya yung letter.
On air yan, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network. Binaba ka agad yung microphone.